Hi, I hope you're having a really amazing Pride Month. I have been posting a picture a day relating to Pride, whether that's just going through the colours of the rainbow, doing some rainbow makeup looks, etc. Now this is a look that I created a little while ago and I was asked to produce a tutorial for it. I must admit I did make this up as I went along, so I was a little bit nervous to try and create a tutorial of how I made it, but I have given it a go. I hope that it's easy enough for you to be able to follow at home. I'm not an expert, I'm not a makeup artist, I don't have all the correct ways to do things, but I hope that I have given you the easiest way to do things and so that you can create this Pride look at home. So enjoy the video, have a go. If you do have a go, send me a photo because I'd love to see the results. I'd love to see your take on it. Yeah, so I hope that you find this tutorial nice and easy. Do let me know if you've got any questions. I think I have mentioned all the products that I've used, so you can go out and get those too. And yeah, happy Pride Month. So I'm just going to start this tutorial as if we've already done the eyebrows. I've got an eyebrow tutorial video coming soon, so you'll have that in a separate video that you can watch. The first thing I'm going to do is take an eyeshadow primer. I use the Avon one, which is Shadow Attract Magic's primer. Just going to pop that onto my eyelids, so just like this. For this look, I have used this palette. It's the new Monster Matte one from Revolution. You can see it's already very well loved. I've only had it a couple of weeks. This has got every colour of the rainbow in it, so it's ideal for Pride. So that is what I'm going to be using throughout for all of my colours. I'm just taking, I don't know if you can see that there, just a really small pointed brush. This is an Avon one. I'm just going to spray it with some setting spray. So this is, again, the Avon one. This is the Mark Magic's setting spray. This works wonders for me. I think it's brilliant. So I use that to dampen my brush. So just give that a little spray. And then with the damp brush, I go into the red colour that I want to use. So all I did is to sort of look up like this, and I'm going to kind of follow the shape of my eyelid to start with. So it's depending as well on whether you want the red to kind of go out to a point or start right in your socket, and just draw a line here, kind of the amount of space you want taken up by the red colour, if you think of it like that. So again, just here, and don't panic too much about things being perfectly symmetrical to start with. That's what concealer's for. So just filling that in there, and again, it doesn't really matter if it makes a mess underneath because you're going to fill all that in with red anyway, so just let it do its thing. And then you can also sort of line this bit of your eye, just makes it a bit easier later on, like so. And while I've got quite a good consistency on there, I'm just going to fill in this corner because then I don't have to do it later on. So once you've popped a bit of red on, clean your brush off and spritz it again with your setting spray, and then go into an orange, and then just carry on following this sort of line above your eyelid. All I'm really trying to concentrate on when I'm doing this is getting this line here and here to be as equal as possible. Like I said, you can correct it later, so just keep it as accurate as you can. It just makes your job a little bit easier later on, but that's my main focus. I'm not really bothered about how my eyelid looks at the moment. And then again, with your spritz of setting spray, and pop into the yellow. So again, same sort of concept, just draw on from the orange with the yellow, like so. Give it quite a big space on its own for now, like so, just because it's a right pain to try and get yellow to stay completely yellow. And you see I've gone for a kind of orangey yellow as well, just because for the outline I think it just sort of stands out a bit more, but you can kind of go back in take a little bit of a less orangey yellow and sort of go back over the top, and I think that just gives you that little bit of depth of colour there. So we've gone red, orange, yellow, and at the moment my eyes look a complete mess, but trust me, we will get there. And we're going to go in with a green, so exactly the same process, so you can sort of see. And again with the green, and we can go slightly over the yellow. I find this green takes a little bit of work to get it exactly how I want it. And again, just out. And I'm gonna start now, as I'm coming out to that last third of my eyelid, rather than following the roundness, I'm gonna start heading towards the sort of tail of my eyebrow. So I'm just gonna blend in another shade of green there. I don't want to go too dark, but for the line, it's not so bad because you can always blend it away later. And then just start to head towards the tail of the eyebrow. And there we go, so there's the green. And go in with the blue, so same process. And just bring that out here. And again, just here, like so. And just again, not really bothering about how it looks underneath because that doesn't really matter. Just worry about the positioning of your top line for now, because really all we're doing is kind of doing the marking out of where it's all going to sit, and then we can go back and make everything perfect later. When you're happy with the blue, I'm going to take the purple, and then with this one, because it's the last colour in the rainbow, we're gonna start at the corner of the eye here. And again, you can kind of start right at the top if you don't want any liner underneath, or you could go a little bit underneath to then have a bit of liner underneath as well. So I'm gonna do it sort of from here, and I'm just gonna bring it out to meet the blue, just like so. So you can see we've kind of made a frame to colour in. So, and again, just from here out to meet the blue. There we go. And then you can see, obviously, you can just continue your rainbow underneath your eye as well when you're ready. It looks like, I don't know what, but this is honestly, for me, the easiest way to then get the shape and everything perfect for later on. So literally all I've done is use the same brush throughout, followed this line of my eyelid, so making sure that I stay above the crease here, follow it out, and then bring it towards a straight line to meet the end of my eyebrow. And then I've taken this one from under my eye and gone up to meet that point there, so it all meets at the edge of my eyebrow, like so. So this is all quite self-explanatory. I'm going to go back through the colours of the rainbow and now start to fill in my eye. In terms of blending, I personally really struggle with this, so I tend to do it a little bit at a time. So I'll put on the colour and then slowly start to make each colour kind of fit in with the next one. Just a shadow brush, and I'm just gonna pop that into the inside corner here where I've got the red. Just making sure that I don't go too far out and take over too much of my eye. So just the same then with the orange. I kind of pat it all on and then go back and blend any bits that need a bit of extra love. I'm going to use a clean brush for the yellow because it is so particular yellow that I don't want to muddy it with another colour. So I've got a different eyeshadow brush, an Avon one actually, this one, and I'm just going to take some of the, I'm going to go for the brighter yellow I think, and just work that down here. There we go. I just want to make sure you can really see yellow in it. Just sort of take that in like so. And then I'm going to go for a bit of a brighter yellow, the same yellow I used for the liner. Happy with yellow, I'm going to go on to the green. Again, I've got another eyeshadow brush, just a different one again. and I'm just going to do the same sort of thing, so just slightly pack that on. So then you'll notice you've got the blue and the purple. So the blue is slightly more on top and then the purple underneath. So again, we're going to follow similar sort of way that we've done this before. Pop in the blue just here and sort of bring it down to the bottom of the green. And then you can go in with your purple underneath your blue. And you can start to bring that slightly under. See, that gives you that really cute effect there. And just under here. So that's the sort of base to get you started. So now it's all really a case of going back through it all and making sure each colour blends nicely into the next one. So I'm going to start going back over with the yellow, just because it is the kind of hardest colour to do. Once you're happy with how the colours are blended, obviously I could keep going at this forever and getting the balance exactly right, but I just want to do it quite quickly so that I can show you what I do. I'm then going to get the shape perfect. For concealer, I always use this. It's the Avon Mark Cream Concealer. For me, I think it is just the perfect concealer. It blocks out everything that I need it to. And the fact it's in a palette makes it really easy to use with a brush. I basically douse my brush in concealer, particularly making sure that the edges of the brush, so the sort of the sides, are coated as well, because then you get a really good line, really defined line. So I'm just going to show you now how I would go over my eye to give you that perfect sort of edge. So I'll start just here in the corner, and I'll sort of show you how I would then draw that out. So start just down here with the side of the brush and start slightly further out than you want to go, because you can sort of test the line almost. So just follow the shape of your eyelid, so the way I was telling you to follow it before with the shadow. Okay, and just follow that round, and then slowly follow that line and bring it out, and then you can just fill that in and make sure it's all perfect. Don't worry if the shadow leaks, try not to keep dragging it. You can kind of layer concealer on until you've kind of covered it, so it's not the end of the world. And there we go. So you can just kind of keep going until you're happy with the shape, and you can do that underneath as well. So just like that, and it really then cuts out that shape. So I advise sort of get to this sort of stage on one eye and then do the same on the other side. And then by doing each eye a little bit at a time. You can decide where exactly you want that line to go, where it looks right, where it doesn't look right, etc. So you just keep going until you're happy with the shape that you've created. There we go, so you can really start to see it taking shape. So what I'm going to do next is just blend that concealer out a little bit, just with a slightly bigger brush, just so I can sort of see where I'm at then. If you grab your angled brush again, you can then go back in and check that all of the lines are exactly how you want them. At this stage, where the concealer is quite thick, I find it a lot easier to keep that line perfect. I know a lot of makeup artists can just do a line of concealer and it's perfect, but I know that us normal people find that quite impossible. So for those of you who struggle, like me, you can then just kind of edge back in and create yourself a really strong line then. Now I'm just going to bring some red just in here, just like that. And I'm going to bring the red around to meet the purple underneath my eye, just to finish that off here. I think that really sort of completes it. Now what you can do is take a little bit of a natural colour shadow and you can sort of pat that into your brow bone, and that sort of will then really finish off setting your look. So just like this, and that just cleans it all up, mattifies it like so. So that's a really good way to finish. Again, this is just one of the neutrally colours from the Monster Matte palette. And obviously add your highlighter in and everything. There's a couple of ways that you can kind of finish this off now. You could go straight in with a mascara. You can put a really nice black line across, which I think is really effective. That's what I did in my selfie when I did this look. So I'm going to try something a bit different today, just to give you another way to experiment. The other thing you can do, if you're sort of new to doing your makeup and you're struggling to get this line perfect, you could grab sort of maybe a metallic gold, something like that, and take a small brush and line it with the gold, and that way you've kind of got a bit more of a softer edge, and you don't have to worry so much about getting that line exactly perfect. So that's a little tip for you that you could give a go if you're thinking, I just can't get this line right, because I know it does take a lot of time and I'm only just learning to get it right. So that's another little idea for you if you are struggling. So the way I'm going to finish this off today is to use the Avon Big and Phenomenal mascara on my top lashes. So I'm not going to go with an eyeliner today, I'm just going to go straight in with mascara, just to try something different. There we go, so that mascara is really good anyway, but you could always put some false eyelashes on if you want to go really dramatic. However you want to finish it off, really. With the bottom lashes, Avon have brought out a new festival collection and they have some coloured mascaras. I've quite often been using the blue. I think it gives a really cool like 80s vibe. So today I'm going to try the purple. So it's going to go with my purple liner. So this one's Enchanted Violet. Now I find with these, because they are a colour rather than black, I like to put them on really thick. And there you go, so there's a little bit of a different way to finish that off. There is one more thing actually that I wanted to show you, that a little suggestion to really make yourself look amazing for Pride. There's these new stamps from Avon, which again are part of the festival collection. I've got the star stamp, but there are 4 different types. So I was thinking that that might be a really cool way to kind of add a little bit of something else to the look. So I'm just going to try. There we go, some of those there perhaps. Some underneath. There you go, there's a really good way to get yourself festival ready, Pride ready, whatever it is you're celebrating. I think this is a really fun look, and I do think that it is possible to create this one at home.